Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. And yes, this is a full story, a twist on the Naruto universe where Sasuke Uchiha is killed by Sakura. A rather shocking and rigorous twist on the world. Short and sweet for you guys to enjoy. This is a standalone, so it's only going to be one part. And also, guys, don't forget, if you have your own ideas, whether it be movies or series, just go ahead and comment down below, guys, and I'll jot your ideas down. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and yeah, become a part of the Animaking family as well. I indeed have 4 more channels, 4 what ifs for you guys to enjoy. So just go ahead and comment on any of them, any of the latest posts, guys. So without further ado or wasting any more time, let us begin this, well, one shot. Let's begin now, guys. There are moments when one situation causes drastic changes that would forever cause ripples through the fabric of everything and change things as we know it. And this moment began with one simple action from one young girl. We begin at the roaring waterfalls. Sasuke Uchiha. He was facing off against Naruto Uzumaki. Their battle would decide whether Sasuke leave the village or return, or as Naruto claim it, break every single bone in his body and drag him back. Sasuke's hand was lit with the Chidori, despite being told numerous occasions to never use it against a comrade. Yet, there wasn't hatred in his eyes, more like sorrow, pain, because a part of him didn't want to do this. But that other part that was filled with such grief, such rage at his own past. Yet, in front of him, struggling with his own choices, Naruto tried to talk to him. It was always his thing, especially for those who he cared about. Sasuke, just come back. Please, he begged. Sasuke did not answer though. Instead, he moved forward. Naruto's hand started to swirl with the Rasengan. The Nine-Tail influence started to take over his mind. Kill him! Kill him! The beast's rage pushing Naruto to do the unthinkable, the last thing that he ever wanted. They were about to clash, but Naruto stopped, looking at Sasuke, the eyes that Sasuke looked at him with. He questioned himself. Would Sasuke really try to kill him? He hesitated with his own attack, looking at his best friend. However, that small change was going to make itself very clear. It was Sakura Haruno. She left the village. She had been the one to inform them about Sasuke's departure, and she wanted to be there, so she ran away. She had ran as fast as she could possibly go, even when she felt like her legs were going to give out. She arrived to see the scene right there. She saw Naruto hesitate. She saw Sasuke Chidori, his back turned to her. Naruto was going to die. She could see the look on Naruto's face. He couldn't do it. He couldn't muster up the attack to harm Sasuke. And her body moved on autopilot. The kunai in her grip. She threw it without hesitation. Why? Why she did it, she could never say. This moment that would forever change everything. Naruto was going to die. Yet she loved Sasuke. Yet Naruto was going to die. He didn't deserve that. The fact that she actually threw that weapon was a shock to reality itself. Sasuke with his back turned, his mind so conflicted. He never even knew that she was there. He would never even think that she would even ever do something like this even if she was there. Perhaps if the curse mark had been fully enveloped in his body. Perhaps if he had transformed. Perhaps if he had pushed himself to the next stage. This wouldn't have happened, but as normal as he was, the kunai pierced through his back. It punctured his heart. Right there and then. Due to her position and the weapon falling downwards, it was much more forceful. The Chidori fizzled out almost immediately. Naruto caught Sasuke, who collapsed in his arms. Sakura stood there shaking. Naruto looked up, rage in his eyes, but then it diminished. When he saw her, when he saw the look on her face, Kakashi arrived late. Something he would always blame himself for. He arrived too late. He saw Naruto looking up. Sakura couldn't meet his gaze. Her hands were shaking. And Sasuke, quiet, empty. She wasn't crying. Sakura was past crying. Her eyes were just so hollow, empty, cold. She killed him. She killed him. Sasuke Uchiha was buried within Konoha soon after, given honors as a shinobi, as most believe that the curse mark had corrupted him, forcing him to kill his comrade, and she had no choice. Yes, they believe that she had no choice. Most could not find it within themselves to blame Sakura. She had saved a teammate from being killed. And most start to realize if they felt this way, how would she feel? How would she even think? Ino had cried, broke down in tears. The recovery team felt a way about it. They put their life on the line to bring Sasuke back and to know that he was dead. Yet they couldn't blame her. They tried, but they couldn't. They were finding it hard to do so. But something was wrong with Sakura though. Something was deeply wrong with her. Ino tried her best to push past the feeling that she felt knowing that Sasuke was gone. She came to her. You saved him. She knew that she was talking about Naruto. I know, Sakura said. Her eyes were empty. Her voice was so cold and strange. Every single day Naruto came. He brought food, he brought gifts, he sat. Yet they never, not even once, talk about what happened. They just sat together. It seems like the both of them were going through something that wasn't easily repaired. Jiraiya understood the situation, but the world was going to come for him, for what he contained. The Akatsuki mostly. He needed to get stronger. But Naruto refused almost immediately. Jiraiya was surprised. He tried to, I said no. I have to stay here with her. Naruto was not discussing it. He was not talking about anything else. He just said no. Jiraiya had never seen that look in his eyes before. Jiraiya went. He went to the girl because he was desperate, knowing that if Naruto did not get as strong as possible, it would lead to his demise. This group was ruthless, powerful, dangerous. He knew that it was a shitty move. He knew that it wasn't good. So he hesitated. He hesitated. Instead of talking about the training trip, he questioned her if she was alright. That was strange, considering that they weren't even close. Yes. Are you here to train Naruto? This was what he wanted. Well, I wanted to take him out of the village to make him stronger, but he refused to go. Jiraiya could see it. He wasn't an expert on the human emotion, but he could see it in her eyes. Her and Naruto's eyes were just alike. This started to become rather troubling. He's seen that look before, and he knew situations that follow after that. Perhaps this situation needed a bit more insight. If anyone could understand something like this, it was Tsunade. They might not be the same, but maybe. Naruto was actually the one visited by her this time. He was standing at Team 7 training ground. Something was wrong with him. Mentally, physically. He couldn't feel it. The urge, that push. They haven't even talking about Sasuke. Yes, they said something, but not enough. He turned as he saw her approaching. Go, she said. What? I need you to get stronger. Someone has to. Sakura, I mean it, Naruto, she said. She was not looking at him as she spoke though. Until her eyes finally met his. I need you to go and come back strong. So something like that doesn't happen again. Her hands couldn't stop shaking. Naruto crossed the distance and held her hands. He was also shaking as well. Naruto Uzumaki never truly understand. I love you. He never truly understand those words. The way he was raised, Naruto believed that the words I love you was the same that he would say to a friend. But in this moment, he meant it with everything. He wanted to express what he really felt inside. I love you. I know that. I just want you to know that I'm not leaving because I want to. I'm leaving because you're right, but I love you. And I don't want you to feel any more pain, he said to her. She heard him say things similar, not quite like that before, but there was something different about this one. A tear ran from her eye, yet her face expression did not change. She believed him though. Come back, she said to him. The words sounded far more desperate than she wanted them to be. Always, he said to her. The next morning, her parents were surprised when she told them that she was heading out. They questioned her. More than a couple have been monitoring her since the incident. Their sensei, Kakashi, was trying his best. He was there, he was responsive, he was supportive, bearing his own pain, believing that the children need him right now. She headed to the office. She wanted training. She needed to get stronger. Jiraiya had spoken to Tsunade. Tsunade invited the girl in. When she looked at her, she saw her younger self. She saw the self that lost everything. And she knew what it was like to be that broken. She knew what it was like. Time skip. Naruto left the village, almost like a ghost. The fact that he hadn't spoken much to anyone else was rather concerning. It didn't seem like he was Naruto anymore. Yet Jiraiya was trying to be as supportive as possible, trying to help him weather through all of this pain. However, it was a rainy day where the both of them were trapped inside. They couldn't make it to a village as they found themselves at a cave area. Jiraiya sat in the back, watching Naruto look at the rain. When he picked up on something, Jiraiya was taken aback when he saw Itachi Uchiha. Yet, the look in his eyes, as Jiraiya got up ready to defend Naruto, believing that Itachi was here for some reason or another. Itachi wasn't here to fight. The lack of aggression. The lack of motivation was clear in those eyes of his. It was the first time that they looked so emotional as far as Naruto and Jiraiya were concerned. And something was clearly different with Naruto as well. Despite knowing that Itachi outclassed him in almost every area, there was no fear in his eyes. What happened at the valley? Itachi's question was simple. You already know, said Naruto. I want to hear it from you. Naruto spoke, despite the fact that he hasn't said these words out loud to anyone. He hadn't said them since he was simply mindlessly talking when he was at the office on the first day when he was brought back in, when Kakashi had found them. But at the time he was so out of it he did not even realize. Yet within this moment he said those words. Something was clearly wrong. His tone, his reaction. The rain poured on Itachi as he simply walked away. There was a problem. The ring that the Akatsuki gave him was not there. Itachi Uchiha simply walked away. Jiraiya watched him go. He saw Itachi remove the cloak in a distance and simply toss it to the side, almost like he was done with them. That was exactly what happened. What followed was Jiraiya trying to help Naruto emotionally, physically, mentally, trying to be fun-loving, trying to be all jokative, but Naruto did not laugh much. If he did, it was just a smirk. But that smirk never reached his eyes, not even once. And Naruto started to push himself. Jiraiya became concerned when Naruto sliced his arm open by accident and almost shrugged it off like it was nothing. The Sannin had to grab him and forcefully bandage the arm. But he went back to it that night. He demanded more. Jiraiya tried to calm him down. But it was on that day that Jiraiya knew that the only thing that was keeping him stable was actually training. Maybe he needed to harmonize, become one with nature. But was he ready for that? However, Jiraiya saw it on that day. He was taken aback. Is this all you're going to teach me? Is this the reason why you brought me out of the village? To show me this bullshit? Jiraiya was stunned hearing those words coming from Naruto. He understood that he was grieving, but the look in his eyes, the way he said those words. Jiraiya brought him to Mount Miyaboku afterwards. Believing the toads could give him a sense of inner peace, for him to become calm. As Naruto learned there, even the toads were frightened. The fact that Naruto was seemingly angry and yet his body did not radiate such rage. He was very angry outside. He should be, right? Especially after what he said to Jiraiya, and yet it was almost like there was nothing there. Almost like a shell with nothing on the inside. Like everything had leaked out of him. Almost like there was no repairing it. Sage training was not something that Jiraiya believed that Naruto was ready for yet. Yet the Sannin was left shocked and surprised. While that was going on back at Konoha, Tsunade held nothing back. Believing to overcome this trauma she needed to throw herself into something else. Perhaps understanding what it means to be a medic. Understanding what it means to save a life rather than taking it. It was everything. Yin and Yang chakra manipulation. Medical manipulation to an extreme level. Understanding the surgical insides of a human body to the extreme peak of her knowledge. And the young girl soaked it up like a sponge. Tsunade was concerned that she might not be eating or She might be putting certain things aside, maybe sleeping, but that wasn't the case. She was acting normal, and yet there was something wrong with this child. Tsunade could see it. Yes, she was adapting fastly. Yes, she was growing insanely fast. But something wasn't right with this girl. It was almost like she was never truly there, despite standing right in front of her. However, problem arose within the village. Sasuke Uchiha was put to rest. Naruto Uzumaki was 15 years old, still on his training trip. Word reached Jiraiya from the village. Sasuke's grave had been tampered with. Lucky thing Konoha forces was able to stop them. It was Orochimaru people, not the best of best. However, Orochimaru is desire to retrieve Sasuke's corpse. It became a problem, so they had to move it. Tsunade had thought about that. That is why they weren't successful, because the corpse was never there. Jiraiya got information from his spy network. Naruto learned of this. Naruto wasn't a person that would leave. Yes, he was impulsive. Yes, he was rash, but he left. He heard what Jiraiya had said. Jiraiya thought that he did not. When he went into that bar to talk to that lady, the location, it was a long shot. Extremely small that Orochimaru would even be at that place. However, when Naruto arrived there was 4 of them. It was actually the 4 that went to Konoha. They were able to escape, showing that Orochimaru still had so much information to slip in and out of Konoha that his people can do so. Naruto Uzumaki stood there, and they saw him. The first 3 believed that they should bring him in. But it was only one amongst the group that saw something different. It was a look in his eyes. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. While they weren't your strongest, they were more so efficient to, well, assassinate quietly. But still, the problem was that they did not survive. Naruto Uzumaki doesn't kill when he doesn't need to, but he purposely killed them. He purposely killed all of them. He made his way. The location was large, almost unending, almost like a maze. However, when Orochimaru learned that he was here, the Sannin was ecstatic, especially learning that he was alone. Orochimaru came out to face him, clapping, making matters even worse. Clapping and smiling. Well, well, well. Look who we have here, he said. You did this. You started this. Oh? And how so, Orochimaru said. Are you blaming me for what happened to Sasuke? If I remember correctly, the one to kill him was... A violent explosion erupted. That power was... Jiraiya was a distance away, already making his way towards a location. It took him around 15 minutes to find the precise location. By the time he arrived, sound ninjas were all over the place. Missing heads, missing arms, missing legs. Not a single one of them were still breathing. They were all dead. Torn apart. In the most brutal ways possible. However, what Jiraiya was shocked to see was a massive snake with 8 heads. Each of the top heads were missing. And close by was an abomination of a face that looked like Orochimaru, with what seemed to be thousands of dead white snakes surrounding it. Naruto was in the center, the remnants of Sage Mode slowly leaving him. As he stood there coated in blood and sweat, he looked over his shoulder. Jiraiya was greeted with a plus in Naruto's eyes. That faded a moment later when he saw that it was him. Naruto picked himself up. "What did you do?" Jiraiya said. "I finished the job. I finished what you couldn't." With that, Naruto walked away. Jiraiya realizing in that moment, Orochimaru was dead. Yes, he was. Time passed by. Naruto returned back to the village. His friends were there. Shino, Choji, Kiba, Neji. They were happy to see him. There was no doubt about that. Temari had seen Naruto before this. She had been one to tell them that he was different. Due to there was a skirmish within the Sand Village and Naruto and Jiraiya had been there. Naruto had seen Gaara, seen the Kazekage, and Gaara said something to his sister. His eyes, they're like mine. She was confused until Gaara clarified. His eyes were like his before. Yes. Sakura and Naruto saw one another. Tsunade watched their interaction. When she and Jiraiya was alone, she questioned, "How was it?" "It's bad," Jiraiya said. The fact that Naruto has killed one of the greatest criminals of Konoha, but Jiraiya believed that there was cause for concern. Yes, they were. Time skip. The leader of the Akatsuki, Pain, was speaking to a man wearing an orange mask. Since returning back to Konoha, Naruto has crippled their organization already. Sasuke and Deidara had kidnapped Gaara. Gaara was alive thanks to Lady Chiyo, but Sasuke and Deidara were no longer alive. It is hard to believe that two S-rank could be killed that easily by one boy. He's no longer just a boy, powered by the arts of Sage Mode. Jiraiya has taught him well. The maskman said, "It does not matter. Our organization is already shortened. Itachi's departure and now this." Itachi Uchiha was a big blow to the organization. He just left. Nothing, no words, no betrayals. He just left. And he hasn't been seen since. Time went by within Konoha as Naruto and Sakura drift away even more from anyone else. They hang out together, but when it came to their friends and even Sakura family, it was hard. They were told multiple times that they could speak to someone to help them, a therapist. The problem was they never denied anything. They spoke to Inoichi and others. But the assessment was grave. Something inside of them had been destroyed. Maybe it could never truly be repaired. You see, Naruto blamed himself, and Sakura blamed herself still. Maybe part of them wanted to accept it, but they didn't know how to. Things took a turn though when Jiraiya died. He went to the land of rain to find out about the Akatsuki. When Ma and Pa came to the village, when Naruto stood in the office, he accepted it. He accepted it right there and then. Tsunade expected him to blame her. She expected him to say something, Kakashi. Expected some rebuttal, expecting cursing, expecting rage, but there was none of it. He left soon after and simply made his way. He found himself sitting on a bench, just sitting there, when Sakura arrived. "Are you okay?" she said to him. No. She figured that much. It only took 2 weeks. 2 weeks as the village was then attacked. The 6 paths of pain descended up like wrathful gods. When Naruto arrived, he was there in the village, almost like he expected this. They descended, moved with the efficiency of a group that was more dangerous than anything else. Tsunade, declaring herself as this village leader, refusing to let this happen. Yet, stay back. He's mine. I said stay back. The moment she said something to question what Naruto had to say, he shouted at the Hokage. "If you want me, come and get me." Naruto left the village, forcing the 6 paths of pain to follow, while others stood there shocked. As the summoning path summoned multiple animals so the others would not track them, causing destruction in its wake, Sakura leaped over the beast's head, and she followed. When she saw the blue-haired woman go into another direction, Sakura leaped. Konan immediately turned into paper, as Sakura took down at least 3 healthy trees when she crashed into the ground. Standing outside the village, Konan hovered in the air looking down towards her. The look in her eyes. If it wasn't clear enough, Sakura said the words. "You're going to die for what you did," she said. Yet Konan wasn't afraid. Of course she wasn't, as she broke herself into paper, ready to face this Kunoichi. Meanwhile, a distance away, "You've stopped running. Have you finally seen the futility of your actions? You cannot win. You will only die." Pain made it clear, as he stood firm for Naruto to understand, that there was no winning here. There was no surviving. Naruto looked at him. His eyes were calm, resolute. There was no anger in his eyes. His words were too innocent. "I'll kill you for what you did to Jiraiya." Pain looked amused. "Seems you don't understand. You are not dealing with a mere man, child. You are facing a god. And just like our teacher, you shall fall." Naruto's eyes swept over all of them. He stood there rather calm. He then gazed into the distance as he saw Ma and Pa. Perfectly timed. Naruto then turned back to all 6 of them, listing out their abilities within his mind. Well aware, having been told, but that wasn't all that he was told. Jiraiya might have died, but he ensured that Naruto would succeed. Immediately, the power flooded into Naruto, and he closed his eyes. Naruto stepped into his mindscape, appearing in front of the bars. He looked towards the fox. "I need your power. You dare show your face here." While using that power, the Nine-Tails said. It sounded like it was almost jealous, but it was just so angry it was hard to tell. "We will both die if you don't help me." "So you want my power to squash this bug?" "What's wrong? Can't your Sage Mode defeat him?" "I will not chance it. He has to die." The Nine-Tails chuckled darkly, enjoying the darkness that Naruto showed, enjoying that ruthlessness in his eyes. "Fine then. I'll give you my power this once." The Nine-Tails did not care that much, but If Naruto was defeated, it would be taken and absorbed. And it wouldn't allow that, even if it means partnering with the power that he was already using. When the two power combined, the plus in his eyes reappeared just like that day. And it became something monstrous. Over to the other side, Konan couldn't understand. She hit this girl with at least several paper blades, but she just plucked them out like it was nothing. Sakura was continuously healing herself. She wasn't slowing down even as smoke seemed to leave her. It was almost like she was... What the hell? A single punch erupted the forest like a violent explosion. Konan turned when she saw. Almost like the moon was coming from the heavens, but as she turned, it was Naruto with a Rasengan that seemed to encompass the sky itself. Blue and red mixing together. The explosion caused everything in the vicinity to shook. Even Konoha. Glass broke. Buildings trembled. As the entirety of Konoha forces that were ready to protect and serve were making their way. However, impossible. Nagato said as he was in the paper tree. One after another, he lost connections. Every single ability that was known. He could not kill this boy because he wanted the Nine Tails, and the child was using that against him. But it wasn't just that. His ability to take punishment and simply go on, almost like he didn't feel it at all. Blood exploded out from his mouth and nose as he released the almighty push, the force that should shatter every single bone in his body. The only one that was standing was Tendo. The first one that Naruto killed was a revival path to ensure that none of them would recover. Tendo was standing, but he erased the entire place. He needed at least 2 minutes to recover his power. Normally it would have been a few seconds depending on the force that he used, but this one was catastrophic. No trees for miles. However, Naruto had not gone that far. Naruto's legs were completely shattered because he had forcefully dug them into the earth. And when his body was thrown back, they snapped. His arms were broken. He had multiple broken ribs. Yet, the nine-tailed chakra moved. It moved as feet, it moved as arms, throwing Naruto across the distance. Tendo tried to get away, but Nagato was weakened. Naruto crashed into him head first. Tendo tried to fight him off, but Naruto beat his skull directly into Nagato. He beat it and beat it and beat it and beat it. His own head was leaking blood as he pulled himself up. When Tendo's face was completely crushed in and destroyed, the receivers having fallen out. The nine-tailed chakra working like a miracle, wrapping around his limbs. The red corrosive chakra that was seemingly burning him simply, aiding him still. Because he rejected the pain like it didn't existed. Naruto made his way, arriving towards. Konan crashed out of the sky, extremely fatigued. Naruto turned as he saw Sakura, blood still dripping off of her. Yet, she wasn't falling. The god and his so-called angel looked afraid. Konan couldn't understand. How was this girl still going? Why wouldn't she fall? Tendo pulled his arms from his mechanical walker, knowing that using his abilities while he was so weakened would cost him, but he did not care. He had to stop them. Maybe his words could buy him time. It seems you are just as much a monster as they say, he said, looking towards Naruto. Naruto looked at Sakura. She nodded as Naruto ran forward. Tendo ripped his arms out cleanly and raised it, ready to blow him away. However, Sakura hit the ground. She destroyed everything. As the tree sunk, Konan threw herself into the way. But Sakura crashed right into her as Naruto slammed onto Nagato. Naruto raised his head and bit down into his throat. Nagato's eyes went wide. The collision stopping him from getting a foot in. Considering that he wasn't a mechanical walker, he couldn't. Naruto bit deep and ripped. Even as blood coated his cheek, he bit once again and bit. Naruto slammed his head down without mercy. Despite his own injuries, when his arms felt better, despite not heal, Naruto crushed the Rinnegan by smashing Nagato's head. Konan, she tried to stop him, weakened. She took her eyes off the threat that was facing her as Sakura did not hesitate. The medical scalpel, the first thing that she was taught to by Tsunade to properly control her chakra, split Konan. No hesitation. Sakura fell down to the ground. Her body had reached its limit a long time ago, but she had still been going. Yes, she had. By the time Konoha forces arrived, Zetsu, who had arrived late, fled almost immediately. Both of them were brought in. Months passed by. The village rebuilt from the destruction that was caused by the summonings. Sakura continued to work. She continued to heal, to train. Her reputation has grown. She fought side by side as she and Naruto Uzumaki killed the god and his angel. But while they were growing, while they were still living, he came. It was a Tuesday when he took her. She could smash almost anything, but she wasn't ready for the world to simply twist out of existence, sucking her inside. Naruto, who was simply sitting on his floor, looking at a kunai in his hand. But this wasn't a normal kunai. He put it away the moment he felt the change in the air. There was a man that just appeared in his room. Toss him a piece of paper. If you want to see her alive, come there. With that, he left. The masked man was furious. Everything that he worked so hard for was gone because the Rinnegan was destroyed. He was bloody furious. More furious than he's ever been. And the boy that was supposed to be a tool for his operation turned into his greatest enemy. And he wanted Naruto to suffer. Just like how he lost his love. The one that made him thought this world was anything worth living for. He would make Naruto watch as this girl dies. Leaving the village was not hard. Because Naruto was different. Months of training that helped him a lot. Yes, it had. The area was away from Konoha, on a cliff edge near a canopy. The man was not hiding. Maybe it was the resentment and rage to know that your plan was not going to succeed. He ripped the mask off, cursing Naruto's existence, cursing his father. Obito Uchiha revealed himself. He wanted someone to hear him. This was his justice. Destroying the Rinnegan had cost him everything, and Naruto would suffer for it. I know you think this will hurt me, and it will. Sakura, her hands were bound by special chains, brought back into reality. A swirling vortex as a man grabbed her throat. Just like what happened to Sasuke. I will make you suffer just like how you felt back then. He placed the kunai against her chest, deliberately and slowly. And that was it. Blood. Blood exploded from his neck as he collapsed down to the ground. He couldn't, he, he didn't, he could, he couldn't understand. His life was fading. Naruto stood above him, holding a kunai in his hand, but not any normal kunai. That kunai belonged to his father. When Jiraiya went to the land of rain, he had his reasons to believe that he wouldn't come back alive. He left a note. He wanted to be the one to tell Naruto everything. Maybe it could help him. He also left behind the secrets, techniques his father worked on. Those months after killing Pain, Naruto did not master the technique. He could only teleport to his sight, unlike his father that could simply mark something and teleport towards it. But Naruto had marked Sakura the moment he learned the technique. Yes, he did. He couldn't flash around like his father did, but this man, while Naruto did not know how he did what he did, but as long as he held Sakura, he was still within this world. And Naruto used that moment. No hesitation, no remorse. The masked man was still fighting. The kunai had split his throat open. But Naruto did not care. The Rasengan drilled into Obito's face, ending everything that he was. Naruto removed the chains, freeing her where she stood. I thought I was gonna die, she said to him. I saved you, he said. I will always save you. She cried. It started out small. Naruto tried to be there to comfort her, but yet his eyes betrayed him. He started to cry. The both of them collapsed on the ground. It's been a long time coming. They've tried. However, within that moment, they both break. The stress of everything that they've been through, everything that they've done, it fell down on them like a tidal wave. They collapsed down to their knees, tearing up as they cried right there and then. Konoha went crazy, unable to find either of them. One whole week went by, but they needed time. Within that week, they move around. They walked the world itself. They went to places that they shouldn't go to. Yet they did because they needed time away from the village. Time to accept what they did. Time to accept everything that happened. And for the first time, they talk about it in a way that truly felt like talking. By the time they returned back to the village, the people were shocked because they thought they had died. However, when Tsunade saw them, she could see it. They look at peace. Not completely, but far better than ever before. What happened? Where were you guys? We'll explain everything, said Naruto. First, there's something we have to do. They visited the grave of Sasuke. Something they hadn't done. Despite knowing that his body wasn't there, they visit his grave to say their goodbye. As they accepted that he was gone. It broke them, but it helped them rebuild into something better than ever before. As they stood there, they held each other's hand, uncertain of the future, uncertain of what to come. But they would face it, not alone anymore. And yeah, guys. Short, sweet, and yeah, a world where Sakura killed Sasuke. Tell me what you guys think. Yes, there is more uncertainty out there. Yes, there is Zetsu and things like that, but they would face that together. They would face all trials, all tribulations together, guys. But that is this alternate timeline of the Naruto universe. Just a short, sweet story for you guys to enjoy. I'm out. Peace.